Hi, welcome to my painting channel, Rita's Art Studio. So come along, paint with me. So I've got a blank canvas, it's a stretched canvas. It's a 15 by 15 inch canvas. And these are the colors I have. Payne's grey, I've got a pyrrole orange, I've got crimson lake, titanium white, cadmium yellow, this is burnt sienna, and this is red, Indian red. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give a background. I'm going to just roughly paint on the background, which I'm going to mix the orange and yellow and give it a nice bright background. I like a bright background and it gives something to cover the white canvas. You know, the white canvas, many artists don't like the white canvas. But I love the white canvas because it's so full of potential. Sometimes I'm just putting in the orange, dashes of orange, dashes of yellow. The paint brand I'm using is Camlin. It's a very good, their pigments are really, they don't sponsor me. I just use it. You get it in India and I use it. If the paints are not spreading properly like this, what I'll do is I'm going to spritz some water on the canvas to loosen up the canvas. So I've got the spritzer bottle, it's got water inside. I'll just spritz the canvas to wet it so that the paint flows more easily, spreads more easily. And there it goes. Just roughly crisscross your brush, move your brush around and just spread the. Sometimes you need to wet your brush too. So I dipped my brush in my mug of water and there you go. So keep wetting your brush in your mug of water. And sometimes spritz your canvas, spritz your paints to keep them wet and flowing. So there, the background is done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to roughly sketch in my coneflowers. So as you can see, I have done a rough sketch. I've got 3 main coneflowers. I've got a small little bud over here and one small one in the distance. So what I'm going to do now is I'm taking a smaller brush. It's a sable brush. It's a very old sable brush of mine, which is a soft bristle. So I'm mixing some raw umber, a little bit of Payne's grey. I'm going to paint the cones. A little bit of the raw sienna and some of the background color that I used. I'm getting a nice dark color. Roughly painting the cones. That's one cone done. I want the bottom to be darker, so I'm adding some Payne's grey at the bottom. The next cone. I'm imagining there's a breeze blowing. So this flower is bending this side, this flower is bending a little this side and this a little that side. So you can make up stories while you're painting. It adds to the imagination and fun. So now I want to paint the base coat of the petals. I've mixed up some crimson, some orange, some yellow, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of the Indian red to make it a nice dark tone. Maybe I'll add some raw sienna also. So I'll start with this petal here. The next petal. Keep loading your brush. Sometimes wet your brush. I've got a small petal here. All petals are not even in flowers, so use your imagination drawing out the petals. There's one petal coming here. There's one which is flying in the wind here. Another one here. There's one petal coming out here. Another one here. Put another one here. Keep painting and keep loading your brush. Still working on the base coat of the petals, and add some here on the cone. Once in a while, when I like a color, I just like to spread it around just to give it an evenness. So I've got some permanent deep green and I'm mixing a little bit of orange in it, which makes it a nice sappy green. So I'm using the same green and I'm making the stalks. Just roughly register the stalk. It's alright if it goes on top of that. You can always cover it up. They're just the base coats. One stalk comes in here. This one is in the distance, so I've added some yellow to lighten it up. The stalks come from the middle of the flower, so it has to register from there. So I've mixed the permanent deep green, some yellow and a bit of orange, and I'm going to paint in the leaves. There's one leaf here. I've added some more leaves. Now I'm going to have some fun with the background. I'm going to add some grey randomly, letting the background orange show through. Payne's grey, a little white to make it a grey, lighter grey. Add some darker tones once in a while. And if your petals get covered up, don't worry. You can always go back and repaint them. Loading the brush up. I've taken a bigger brush so that I can cover the canvas faster. And randomly just putting in the grey. Just want the orange to peek through. but mostly grey. So I've taken some orange, a little yellow, mixed it up, a little bit of crimson, and I'm painting on the petals. This is the second layer. I've done with my background. I've put all the greys. I allowed some of the oranges to peek through. Now I'm doing the second layer of the petals. Twist and turn your brush around to get that petal. Basically the mid-tone. Oranges and yellows are transparent colors, so the bottom layer is peeking through, which is alright because petals are kind of transparent. You can put layers and layers on top. I think I want this a little thicker. This one too. I want one small petal here. On to my next flower. Twist your brush, load the paint, twist your brush. Mixing a little more orange, a little yellow, a little crimson. Load, apply, twist your brush around to get that petal-like feel to it. Load, take it to a point and then press your brush down. Here's another one. Alright, you can have some shorter petals. Beautiful, gorgeous color. And the grey and the red and the orange, they look just beautiful. And got a nice yellow ridge. I'll keep it there. I won't mess with it. For the next flower now. This one is in the distance, so I'm going to make it lighter and just give an impression of it. So I've mixed some permanent green, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of yellow ochre to establish my leaves. Here's one leaf. I want to make it into a knife edge. It's a nice one. I want to, yep. There's one here I want to highlight. There's one here coming down. I'll have this one a little yellower. Add some of the green on the stalks. Maybe there's some plants growing here. Random plants. Just squiggle your brush around, indicating some growth. Maybe you can put some orangey color on the stalk, green and orange. So I want to brighten up the petals a little more. So I'm taking cadmium red, a little bit of orange, a little bit of yellow, and let me work on the petals. You want the petals to pop out. I'm going for this one now. In this, I'm putting more orange and cad red mix. This petal a little thicker. This one too. This one as well. How's that looking? And just add some dashes of red and orange on this one. A little flower. A few dashes on this one. I want some pure orange and yellow just to highlight the tips. Oh, that's lovely. It's just layers and layers of color. That's what acrylics is about. Especially with the reds and yellows, they are transparent colors, so you need to apply a lot of layers to get that pop. So I'm going to do the cones now. I'm adding dabs of Payne's Grey and raw umber. Mixture of Payne's Grey, little dabs here and there, especially at the bottom where I want it dark. And this one here, this little guy here. Now I've mixed some orange, a little crimson, maybe a little yellow, and small little dabs here and there. A few dabs of crimson. Put some darks back. Put some orange. Same thing here. Put some pure crimson. Orange. I'm not washing my brush, so the old paint is mixing with whatever I'm picking up. And that creates a nice, I like the color. This one on top. because it's coming up. The cone is coming up. Now this one. A little crimson, a little orange. So this is the finished painting. I've added some more highlights to the petals. Let me give you a close-up. I've added some more highlights to the leaves and the stalks. And that's it. I hope you like this painting and do paint along with me. You can hang it on your wall or you can gift it to your friends, your relatives, on any occasion. So bye. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, share my videos, and of course, comment below the video. Anything you need, if you want to ask me anything about the colors or the techniques I use or anything at all. Okay, bye.